thank you for being incredible the last 2 days. And please, I'm going to give the final words to these two amazing women, Fatima Whitbread and Gina Gardiner. Thank you.
I'd just like to say a really big thank you to Gemma. I thought you've done marvellous, and I really will. Much appreciated. So this is all about children in the care system, and I'm not somebody who likes to, I'm not a self-publicist, I don't really like the attention, but I will take this second to say I've been reunited today, which isn't often the case, with my half-sister who came today to support us, and I'd like Emmy to stand up and give her a big round of applause. Thank you for all what you've been doing as well. Is Emmy? Come here, Emmy. Come here. Well done. Yeah. Well done. Thanks, Emmy. Obviously, I want to say thank you to Gina, and this is not the Appreciation Society, I know, but I've said many thanks to Gina, and we'll be doing that later. So what is, I guess, the brilliance behind my mantra, and people would say, and I would say to you that strength, love, and happiness is what completes me. And the question is, not who's going to allow me, but who's going to stop me. I want to say thank you to everybody, because this is all about the care system and the people that work within it. And as I said before, the tireless amount of work that you have done on the ground floor level to support children and young people is to be celebrated. And of course, as I said earlier, to honour their resilience in the face of adversity is also very admirable. I call that a superpower. So use the superpower as best as you can, work it as much as you can, and let's stay working together as we move on from this point onwards, because it's not just a summit to sort of pat yourself on the back, or just, it's about joining the dots together. It's about making that fundamental change, and it's about carrying that pledge forward and asking yourself, where can I improve it in our organisation? Where can we make that difference moving forward to these children and young people? What more can I do? And also, by harnessing the power of one voice, and that's why it's called the One Voice Summit, you achieve far more in numbers than you do as an individual. Even though you've got a good heart, good soul, let's pull it all together. Let's make sure we hold people to account for what they say they're going to do and what they need to do. And let's make sure that we bring that fundamental change and make a difference to these young people. I think we've helped to move the dial considerably, so let's keep cranking it up. And and also just 3 things I want to say. What keeps me, and I always say, even though I've left the care system and the care system hasn't left me, we all have that moral and ethical responsibility to do what we can, but most of all, it's to be able to look after yourselves too. All right, doing the healing work, taking responsibility for yourself and doing the healing work. When you get to a certain age, that's vitally important, because our early primary care years, where we've been traumatized, and trauma comes from not having unconditional love. When you grow up without that unconditional love, you can get traumatized through the abandonment, through neglect, through simply not being visible. And I think the problem, and love and hope is what it's all about, right? So how do I take responsibility for my own triggers that come at me, like future events triggering me from past trauma? So I would say I always work on what I call the 3 M's. The 3 M's is mindset, movement, and mindfulness. You know, so mindset, most things nowadays is 95% in the mind. We all do it. We trap ourselves in our minds. And sometimes we've got the key in our pocket. We've just got to know how we get that key out of the pocket and turn it, unlock it. So, and movement always gets a good serotonin, You get up in the morning and you might think, I don't feel like this today. But as soon as you start moving and getting on with your day, things start to change, the feelings change, and you do start to feel more positive. It will pass through you. And mindfulness, obviously, is all about taking the time to work on your mental health, on your well-being. There's the physical health. When I was an athlete, I worked on my physical capabilities, going to the gym, training. My mindset is also important, but my brain, in terms of my cells that I needed to train, my muscles in my brain, was always important, because the mind and the body work together. And we've all heard of that. If you don't put it in the mind, it's never going to come out. So what you put in the computer, hopefully you get back. So the computer says, no. But that's not what it's about. So what I'm saying, that's your well-being. So there's the physical health, the mental health, which completes your well-being. So remember, you can always work on that through sharing your emotional intelligence with others, listening to podcasts, listening to someone like you, my friend, Ronnie, and sharing that emotional intelligence, which makes you ask yourself, what more can I be? What more can I do? And look, take responsibility for that, because that is our responsibility as we get older, and sharing the love with everybody else. So I've said enough now, but thank you very much for all your help today.
Just 5 more minutes and then we'll send you home. Before I close up, I want to invite Jim from Bike Works up. Now, this is an organisation that does work with corporates mainly, where they'll build a bike, and when Fatima and I first went to the velodrome in East London, you saw all of these adults acting their shoe size rather than their age, playing on the bikes. But what then became magic is that Bikeworks donated 60 bikes to foster children. And we've set up, hopefully for the future, that that's something that could be increased. Now, they brought a bike, and they have donated it, and people went into a draw. Who's won? Oh!
Well, Jim has been an absolute diamond in donating all those bikes to the children in foster care. So let's pick this one, see who's going to win this.
Okay, so it's Ed Kemp from Breathy, which I think they were on the stall next. Breathy. Come on up.
Come up. We want to see you guys. Thank you. Well, they're coming up. When I was at school, and the last year I was head girl, and I and my deputy were known as the Terrier and the Rottweiler. I'm not quite sure who was who. I've thought about our relationship in terms of what we're trying to do, and we're definitely the Terrier and the Rottweiler, and the positions are interchangeable. I want to thank everybody for coming. It's been said several times during this day, this can only be the starting point. We're not saying that you haven't been doing the most amazing things before. Please don't think that. One of the things we wanted to do is to celebrate the amazing stuff that's going on and let other people know about your amazing stuff that's going on, because so often it's hidden. So there is a directory which will be going up onto the Fatima's UK campaign website with the names and bios and information about everybody who's presented, who's been on a panel, who's been an exhibitor, so you'll be able to find that. At some point, not quite sure when, every breakout room and everything in the main hall has also been videoed, and that will be on the website, so that if you are a leader here, please go and show your people. If you are somebody who is a foster carer, show your friends and neighbours and encourage them to become foster carers. Ultimately, what's going to make the difference is not these 2 days. It's not about us, It is about you, and it is about how you take this forward. And so collectively, rather than everyone having a small voice, we can collectively put that voice in place and make sustained change where children are at the heart and centre, as they should be. As has been so eloquently said, they are our future. If we as a civilised society don't look after our children, the most vulnerable, what does it say about us? The petition is going to go out as an electronic petition. Please spread it widely. 25,000 names before you can actually get the government to even listen. Please do everything you can. And I just want to say to everyone, from us both, a heartfelt thank you for your contribution. Travel safely, keep in touch, and thank you very much.